Good morning, everybody. It's the start to another day and another sunrise. I'm outside collecting as much of this early morning light as I can. This first light of the day is extremely rich in infrared light, so it's very important for us, very healthy for a lot of biological functions. If you're someone who's ever heard of doing red light therapy or getting a red light panel, and you've heard of the benefits from that, the sun gives off the frequency of the similar red lights, except extremely stronger at a much higher level. So getting this first light in the morning is actually red light therapy from the sun to an exponentially higher level than you can from an artificially made red light panel. If any of the habits that I do in these videos was one that I'd recommend you guys start with, it's getting outside in the morning for the sunrise. Getting our day started with the proper light frequencies from the sun is going to prepare us for the whole day. It's going to keep our body on time. It's going to let our body know what it's supposed to be doing for the rest of the day. So this is probably the most important part of the day to get outside. If you're limited on time and can only get outside for a bit, sunrise is the time to do it. It's going to give you the most bang for your buck health-wise. It's going to prepare you for the day. It's going to get your body going, get your energy flowing, and it's just overall the best way to start off your day. So I'm going to be back here eating my breakfast. For breakfast this morning, we got 1 pound of raw grass-finished ground beef with some salt added into it. It's the healthiest breakfast you can have, in my opinion. It's got all the good, healthy, saturated animal fats, high water content of metabolic water that the animal creates itself within its body. Since it's raw, we haven't lost any of that. We also haven't lost any of the vitamins and minerals via the cooking process. And it's also high in protein, which is good for our muscles in our body. So it's got everything we need. So the combination of the sun, which gives us all the light we need, keeps our mitochondria strong, keeps our cells strong, gets our body going in tandem with the nutrition. This is like the ultimate way to start off the day. So I'm going to go ahead and get into breakfast and hang out here for a bit and get these proper light signals while I eat. Alright, my friends, good morning. Alright, everybody, update for the day. I'm out back and it's afternoon, it's midday, so the sun is the highest it's going to be in the sky right overhead all day, which means it's going to be giving off the strongest UV light that we'll get for the entire day, which is very important for our biological function. So we're getting the really strong UVA and UVB light right now. The UVB light enables our body to create vitamin D. We can make our own vitamin D by exposing our skin and our eyes to the sun. So we need to get this UVB light. It's very important. It's how we create vitamin D. We're not supposed to be taking vitamin D supplementally in pill form. We're designed to create it ourselves. We're designed to get it from the sun. So we need to be outside at this midday time. Alongside with the UVA exposure from the sun and the UVB exposure, we're still getting a ton of infrared and near infrared light right now. The infrared light is really strong in the morning when the sun is low and the evening when the sun is low, like I've told you guys, but it's also extremely high throughout the entire day. over 50% of the sun's light frequencies are infrared and near infrared still at this midday point. So what this means is that the sun's light frequencies are all working together, full spectrum right now. So if you're someone who's ever heard from mainstream medicine or centralized dermatology that sun exposure is a dangerous thing because of the UV exposure, this isn't true. These studies that talk about UV light being dangerous are when it's just UV light on its own, when there's no other frequencies of light balancing out the UV light. And that's not the case when we get UV light from the sun. It's not concentrated UV light by itself. The sun gives off the full spectrum of light. So we're getting the important UV light, but the infrared and near infrared light balances out any negative aspects that UV light on its own would have for us. So when we're getting this sunlight on our skin and in our eyes and getting the full spectrum of light from the source, from the sun, any negative effects of any frequencies of light are counteracted by the other frequencies of light. So because it's full spectrum, there's no negative frequency of light that we're receiving from the sun. Everything is a net positive for our health, for our biological function, for our bodies, for our brains, all of it. It's all good. So we need to get this light. We need to get as much as we can, and we need to get it in the morning, the midday, and the evening if possible. And again, like I said, it's midday now, so I'm outside exposing as much of myself as I can to this sun, creating as much vitamin D as I can, and getting all the other beneficial lights that run all the other biological functions of my body, letting it know what time of day it is. And I'm not wearing sunglasses, as I've said before, because when we wear sunglasses, that's giving our body an incongruent signal. If my skin is getting sunlight, but my eyes are wearing glasses blocking the UV light, that signal's not matching up. My eyes think there's no UV light, so they don't know what time it is, while my skin's getting the accurate light signal, so it confuses the body. We need to be sending our whole body the correct signals for what time of day it is, and the light of the sun is what communicates to our body what time of day it is, and thus our body knows what to do when it should be doing it. So the sun is what keeps our clock running on time. So you guys, get outside, don't be afraid of the sun. We're getting all the proper light frequencies we need that work with each other to give us health. They won't detract from your health. You don't need to be afraid of the sun. Get outside. As humans, we've evolved under the sun, and we're supposed to use it. So the sun is the signal, and our bodies are the receiver. We need to pick up the signal with our bodies that the sun's giving off. So get outside, enjoy the sunlight, soak it in, let it work its magic, let it do what it's supposed to for your body, and then your body will do the rest. It'll elevate your health. No matter where you're at on the health spectrum, if your health is at a low state and you're looking to get more healthy, if you have any type of disease, sickness, illness, the sun will just boost you up. If you're already healthy and you're just looking to get better health or optimize your health and work in an upward progression, the sun will help you as well. So no matter where your health is at, this is going to be a positive thing for you. The sun is the most important thing we can do for our bodies because we want our bodies to work properly, and the sun is what tells our bodies how to work and when to do it. So no matter who you are, get as much sun as possible, you guys. Do not fear the sun. Enjoy it. Embrace it. It just is here to help us. So get outside and live your life under the sun. Embrace your environment, just like me. All right, my friends, time to get our lift in for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and do what we normally do a handful of different lifts, one set for each till failure or close to it. Don't want to get in too much volume, as I always say, because we try and get in some type of movement, some type of lift on a daily basis if possible, so there's no reason to do too much to overstress the body. I just want my workouts to make me feel better than I did, then all right, my friends, it's time to get in our lift for the day. So we're gonna do what we normally do. We're outside in the backyard, getting some sunlight on us, getting our feet on the earth so we're grounded while we're lifting. We're gonna do a handful of exercises, one set of each until failure or close to it, and that'll be it for the lift. Try and do it every day if I can, consistently. Some days I miss, some days I don't feel like it. I just listen to whatever my body's wanting. Sometimes if your body doesn't feel like lifting, I don't see a reason to do it. But right now, I feel like getting it in, so let's start with a set of squats. All right, nice first set to start off. Okay, moving on. Let's do some overhead presses. Go ahead and take these till failure. All right, some days it's a couple more reps than others, some days it's a couple less, but as long as we're staying consistent, that's all that matters. Okay, next up, let's get in a set of bicep curls. Take these guys till failure as well. All right. All right, last but certainly not least, gonna do our double set. Gonna do the usual bent over rows. Gonna take them till failure. And then right after I failed the bent over rows, go straight into a set of deadlifts till failure. All right, let's get it in. Whew. My grip was about to fail on the deadlift, so that means my grip is still the limiting factor here. So my body could have kept going, but I just couldn't hang onto the bar. So got to keep strengthening that grip. All right, my friends, so that concludes the lift for the day. In conclusion, I wanted to say, I briefly mentioned that consistency is really important for our lifting and our strength, which it is. But I also briefly mentioned that some days we just have to listen to our body. Well, all days we need to listen to our body. But some days our body's going to tell us, hey, I just don't feel like lifting weight today. And that's okay. So you want to stay consistent, but you want to stay consistent. I think we should focus, let me put it this way, on staying consistent to what our body is telling us. So yeah, I want to consistently lift every day, but I think it's more important to listen to my body if it's telling me I shouldn't on a particular day. Typically, I have good recovery, so I can lift every day, and I'm not like overdoing the volume of my lifts ever, so I can do it very often. But there are days, like I've said, where I just don't feel like it, and I think that's my body saying, hey, you need a break. And don't get me wrong, I'm still getting in movement on those days. It's just not specifically lifting heavy weight. So stay consistent with your lifting, but stay even more consistent with starting to listen to what your body needs. And that doesn't mean just slack off because you mentally don't feel like it. It means you need to get in tune with what your body's telling you. You need to really be able to feel the signals. So if your body genuinely needs the recovery, you're going to feel it. And I think it's important to take that into consideration and do our movement and our fitness based on that. Don't be lazy, but listen to your body. And the more you do that, your intuition about what your body's telling you will get stronger, and you'll know when you can go get a lift in, and you'll know when you shouldn't. And both are good. So consistently listen to your bodies, guys. All right, my friends, it's dinner time. So I'm outside in my normal spot in the front yard, relaxing under the oak tree, taking in some more good light, getting it on my skin and in my eyes, of course, so my body knows what time of day it is. Still doing all the proper functions that it should be. So for dinner today, what we have on the menu is 1 pound of raw grass-finished ground beef with some salt added into it for the electrolytes. So we have the ideal nutrition in a relaxing place, really letting my nervous system just chill out and take it easy while we're eating. I think it's important to be in a relaxed state while we're eating to allow our body to properly utilize the food. And our meal, of course, is the most bioavailable food possible for a human being to eat. So this is the perfect state to be in to enjoy a meal. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. It's a really beautiful day out today. So I'm going to keep relaxing out here, allowing my body to take it in, putting my mind at ease, and just enjoying my meal. The best meal possible in one of my favorite places to be. So as always, you guys, I recommend that you take your meals outside, try and be in a peaceful state of mind, get in a comfortable position in a place that brings you joy, and that'll help bring your health to you, I promise. All right, enjoy your dinner, whatever you're having. All right, my friends, it's sunset, so that means it's the end to another day. I'm outside in the front yard collecting the last bit of light from the sun before it completely disappears for the evening. And as I always say, it's extremely important that we get the full spectrum sunlight for each given time of the day so that our body knows what time it is and what biological functions it's supposed to be doing, dependent on where the sun is in the sky. It's equally important that we give our body the signal of darkness after the sun sets. The light and dark cycles both hold the same value. We can't have one without the other and expect to get our optimal health, or even our general health. These things are what we need to be healthy, to increase our health, to reach any level of good quality health. I believe these things are important to get in. So after the sun sets, the darkness is what we need. We need the signal of a lack of light so our body knows what time it is. When there's no more lights, our body knows it's nighttime, and then our biological functions that are supposed to happen for rest and recovery when the sun has set will start to happen. So our bodies can start to release all the melatonin that they've created for the day. We can start the recovery process and start healing anything that we need to and just reset. Our mind gets to clear for the night. Anything biological that needs to happen when we're sleeping and at nighttime cannot happen if we're giving our body fake light signals. By this, I mean the artificial blue lights of screens, man-made LED lights, any technology that gives off this blue light that's concentrated and has a lack of the full spectrum sunlight. So after the sun goes down, remember that, everybody. It's equally important that we signal our body with the lack of light when the sun is gone as the importance of giving our body the full spectrum sunlight when the sun is up. So it's a balance. We shouldn't be having the man-made artificial lights after the sun goes down. It tricks our body, and we need our body to know what it's supposed to do. And the way it does that is by having darkness. So having said that, I'm going to get off the phone. As the sun starts to set, I'm going to get rid of all the artificial lights and settle down for the night, relax, and really let my body know that it's time to rest and recover. With all that being said, I hope that you guys try to start minimizing your artificial light, or getting rid of it completely would be the ideal scenario after the sun sets. I promise that you'll see benefits in your health, you'll see a health increase, and you'll just feel better. You'll get to sleep more easily, you'll rest better, you'll wake up in the morning feeling ready to go. Overall, you'll just feel a big difference. So really get rid of those artificial lights at night. Embrace whatever the natural light signals are. So when the sun's up, embrace it. When the sun's down, embrace the darkness. All right, you guys, have a good night, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night.